welcome back to the video. And in today's video we have Saturday Night Main Event predictions, and again another short card, but that is kind of the common thing with WWE pay-per-views. This time we don't have a women's match, so we could get one scene get added on SmackDown, but as of right now we're gonna go with what we got, and that's the 4 matches. How we feeling?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we'll probably get some sort of women's match this Friday. Maybe Julia could get on the card in some kind of way to kind of put her in a singles match like they did with Roxanne. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think some kind of match will be added.
Well, let's kick things off with the man who's on the poster, and that is John Cena taking on R-Truth in a non-title match. That will be on this match.
Yeah, I think I'm a little disappointed that it is not for the title. I think it would have made it a little bit more interesting. Obviously, I think John Cena kind of wins either way in a way. However, in this one, I am going to take R-Truth because of the way that they made it a non-title match. I think it would just be cool for R-Truth to get the win here. I think it just also be just a very fun match in general. It would be similar to the Pat McAfee and Gunther match in different ways. But yeah, I think this will be a fun one.
Yeah, this one I really don't know what to expect. This could be pretty fun, like you said. I don't know if this will be a squash match on Cena's part, or will R-Truth just kind of have a competitive match and end up getting the win. But I will go with John Cena. I'll play it safe. And just because if I feel like if R-Truth were to win, that means it only feels right that we have to get a world title match from him. So I feel like it's right that John Cena gets the win, so you don't have to worry about R-Truth being next in line for the world championship.
No.
Next up, though, we have a steel cage match between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre to probably end their feud once and for all, for at least for right now. But who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this ending. Nothing against Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre, of course. But yeah, they just been going at it for quite a while, and I'm ready for Drew McIntyre to go on to bigger and better things, possibly a world title or something. But yeah, I think I will go with Drew McIntyre to come out on top, finish the feud as the top guy. We've seen Damian Priest kind of go out on top in their last interaction, where he kind of gives him the South of Heaven through the tables in the crowd or whatever. So yeah, I think I will go Drew McIntyre here.
Yeah, this one's definitely 50-50 because I see WWE wanting to build both guys of it going up, going further. So I could see Damian, and that's who I am going to go with. Just because Drew getting that big one at WrestleMania. Obviously, Damian kind of got the last laugh most recently, like you mentioned, at Backlash with the Fatal 4-Way and that big table spot. But I do think Damian gets the win here, but I still hope it means that Drew can still be a top guy and being like the top end of talent. I would love to see maybe he can get an opportunity versus John Cena. Maybe he isn't the one to defeat John Cena, but that can just go send him down another tunnel of hatred for some of these top guys. But should be a pretty fun match. I think the steel cage can allow him to do a lot.
Yeah, we don't see too many steel cages. So, it's pretty cool to get one, especially between two big guys that we know do a lot of damage to each other in this. Hopefully, we see reminiscence of Drew McIntyre Punk somehow in this, as far as like the violence or whatever. Even though this will be on TV, so I kind of doubt it'll go too far.
No. Next up, we have an all-star tag team match. We have CM Punk teaming up with Sami Zayn to take on Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Who you going with?
So this match obviously is probably the biggest talking point, the biggest storyline moving thing that's gonna happen here, except except what we'll talk about next. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for this match. We could see a third member be added here. We could see a Paul Heyman turn. We could see a Sami Zayn turn. You can never put it past Punk to do a turn as well, to turn heel as well, because everyone's kind of waiting for that too. But I do not think Punk will turn heel or any of that. I do think, however, we may get at least a tease of who the third member might be. Maybe some sort of vignette. Maybe we see them backstage talking to somebody that doesn't get shown or something. But I do think we'll get something towards a third member here.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see that. I think it's about time that we get a third man in. And if they are going to add one, I feel like it's probably right time, just because you want to start them all together pretty early on, just so you can start building that chemistry with them on camera. But for this one, I am also going to go with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker to get the win here, probably due to that third member interfering, or just the chemistry, I guess, between Seth and Braun that's been forming over the past few weeks. Maybe that goes into it. CM Punk and Sami aren't always on the same terms. They're not the best of friends. We know that. So maybe that is another thing that can help Seth and Braun win. Just the tension between Punk and Sami.
Yeah, I agree. I think Seth and Braun probably should win to kind of make a statement for their faction, get all these big wins adding up over time, especially if you are going to introduce a new person.
I could also even maybe see a return of Roman Reigns. I don't think they would do that at a Saturday main event, but I do think he can come back anytime now. Obviously, I don't have nothing planned for him because he isn't on TV or unless he's injured or something like that. But I don't think we see him to WrestleMania or something like that. So maybe we see Roman Reigns show face here at a Saturday main event. And then in the main event of the evening, we have Jey Uso putting his World Heavyweight Championship on the line versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think this is another one that, in a way, could go either way. If you are going to put the title on Logan Paul, I feel like this is probably a good opportunity here. However, I don't think that Jey Uso is going to lose it already. That would be a little unfortunate for him to not only lose it quick, but to also lose it to Logan Paul, just kind of stacking odds against him. However, it would be interesting if Logan Paul did win because we already know that the first opponent is going to be Gunther. And I think Logan Paul Gunther is a lot more appealing, at least right now, than Jey Uso Gunther. I kind of want to say Logan Paul gets the win, honestly. Just to kind of, I know he's going to win the title at some point, and I'd rather it kind of happen now since we know Gunther's coming up next and he'll likely win. So I think this would be a good point for Logan Paul. So I actually will go with him, even though everything's telling me to pick Jey Uso.
Yeah, I'm going to still go with Jey Uso. I don't think Logan Paul will hold the World Heavyweight Champion. Even though if they do want to make him a World Champion, this is the best person to do it against. It's somebody who is very easy to beat in kayfabe, so obviously at least in terms of compared to Gunther. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Jey Uso. I think he gets the job done here. Hopefully it's a pretty solid match. Hopefully, the chemistry's on lock because sometimes these guys aren't the greatest, but hopefully together they can put on a pretty good match.
Yeah, I think Jey Uso, like I said, likely will win, but I don't know. Something's telling me that maybe they do it with Logan Paul here just to have him give the title back to Gunther because you do kind of want Gunther having that title. Maybe not all the time, but you want him in that picture for sure.
Yeah, if Logan Paul were to win it, I feel like that kind of just also tells you that whoever wins the Money in the Bank is probably going to cash in on him pretty soon and very early, just because I don't think they're going to have Logan hold that championship for very long anyway.
No, or if he loses it right back to Jey Uso even.
Yeah, that is true as well. What match are you looking most forward to on the night?
Probably the tag team match. I think there's a lot of interesting things that could go down in this match. There's a lot of different directions it can go. The cohesion between CM Punk and Sami Zayn is going to be in question during the match. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, potential to add new members, or Paul Heyman to pull some kind of trick up his sleeve, or whatever that might happen from this match. But I think I will go with the tag match.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the steel cage match. I think Drew and Damian like to kind of be the underdogs going into pay-per-views when they're on it, and I think they would like to steal a show here, not on the biggest stage, but on still a pretty big stage, still a PLE or advanced TV show. But yeah, it should be a pretty fun match and should be a pretty solid night overall. But yeah, let us know what your guys' predictions are down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.